Hey guys, it's AJ here bringing you a new video. So the great folks over at Eufy have sent me over another very cool product to show you guys. Today we're going to be looking at their all-new E30 Smart Door Lock. Now this thing is pretty cool. Not only will it work with Eufy's app, but because it's Matter enabled, you can add it to HomeKit or maybe even Home Assistant as well. Now there's tons of other features for this smart lock and we're going to take a look at all of them today. So without further ado, let's get started. Now you can pick this thing up from Eufy's website for about 170 bucks. But if you head over to Amazon, which I recommend you do, you can get this thing for 25% off, at least at the time of this recording, which brings it down to about 127 bucks. That's a pretty sweet deal.
Hold up. Eufy sent me over a $50 coupon to share with you guys as well. This can be used on Eufy's website. I'll have the info in the description below, so you're definitely going to want to take advantage of that.
And if you consider all the amazing features that this lock has, it's definitely worth checking out. Let's dive right in.
Normally I save this part more towards the end of the video, but because Matter capabilities is one of the main features of this lock, I wanted to show you how to set this up right away. Now there are several different methods for handling Matter. I like to funnel all of my Matter devices through Apple HomeKit. Now if you ask me, this works great, because if all you're wanting to do is use them in HomeKit, then once you get them there, you are done. But if you're like me and you want to be able to use them in Home Assistant as well, we can do that too. All we have to do is share the Matter device from HomeKit over to Home Assistant, and then we're done. So let's walk through all of this. If we go into Eufy and hit Works with Matter here in the settings, then we will select Apple Home at the top. Once we do that, we go over to our Home app and select Add Accessory. And then all we need to do is scan that QR code that is underneath the battery cover of the lock. We'll give it a little bit to get set up, and boom. Now we can assign it a room. I'm going to say living room since that is where my front door is located. We can give it a name as well. Again, I'm going to call it front door. And that's pretty much it. It wants me to give it a code that HomeKit will have. Similar to what passcode we set up whenever we added it into Eufy. We're going to go ahead and give it a different code just so that we're not using the exact same one everywhere. And we're done. The lock is now in Apple HomeKit via Matter. And you can see everything is working great. If we go into settings, it has all the device information. We are good to go. Well, let's go ahead and get it added into Home Assistant as well. Again, very simple process. We will just go into settings in the Apple Home app, and we're going to select turn on pairing mode. Once we do that, it gives us a code that we can use that we're going to copy, and then we'll go over to Home Assistant. We're going to click on add a Matter device. We'll say it's already in use, and then we're going to select Apple HomeKit. Now once we do that, it asks us to paste in that code that we got just a little bit ago. We're going to paste that code in there, and boom. We now have the lock added into Home Assistant as well, and it was super easy. Let's move on to the last step. I'll go over a few of my favorite features and give you my final thoughts. Alright, let's do a quick unboxing here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I do want to do a quick run through. As always, Eufy does a good job of marketing on the outside of the box, showing you the lock's capabilities, as well as what all comes inside. But let's get the cover off here. Right there on top, we got some instructions for initial setup. Then, of course, we have the lock itself. First is the inside portion of the door lock. It's very lightweight, but very sleek looking. Then, of course, the outside part of the door lock, which has the fingerprint reader and the keypad for typing in codes and whatnot. Definitely a lot more weight to this side of it. As you can see, it is very clean looking. Again, I really do like the design. Let's see what else we got. We got a mounting plate. We have a quick start guide for getting everything installed and configured. We have the deadbolt itself. A set of keys for the new lock, as well as mounting screws. And then lastly, we have 8 batteries. Now this seems like a lot of batteries. This thing runs on 8 AA batteries. And as you can see here, if we slide this top piece off here, this is where the batteries will go. But that's everything that comes in the box for this lock. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step and get this thing installed. Let's run through the install here. This should be a very simple install, especially if you're just replacing an existing door lock, which we are replacing another smart door lock that I did a video on a few weeks back. So first thing we need to do is remove the old lock, which you can see here. Next, we need to install the internal deadbolt part of the lock. And you can see that Eufy logo right there on the deadbolt. Once that is in place, we need to install the outside portion of the door lock, and it will just mount to a mounting plate that goes on the inside of the door. And this will be what the inside portion of the door lock is attached to. And the last thing we need to do is just install those 8 AA batteries, and you can see that light blinking there. So we know that the unit is powered on and ready to go. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step and get it added into the app. Adding devices to the Eufy app is pretty simple. We're going to be looking for the Smart Lock section here, and then we will choose Smart Lock there at the top as well. Select our home here, and then we are ready to put the lock in pairing mode. We'll give it a second to make that initial connection, and then we are ready to add the Wi-Fi information. Now remember, it only supports 2.4 gigahertz. It will not support 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. But once we do that, we can give it a second to make the Wi-Fi connection. And boom. Now we are ready to name the lock. I'm just going to call it front door since that's where it's installed. And we are now ready to calibrate the lock. All right, we'll follow the steps, and once we get it fully calibrated, we are ready to create a passcode. And then once you do that, if you're ready, you can go ahead and add a fingerprint as well. I'll go ahead and fast forward through this process, and we are done. Looks like we need to update the firmware here, but at this point, we now have the lock added into the Eufy app. Let's move on to the next step and go over the config in the app. Here we are on the main screen for the lock. And you can see the lock unlock right there in the middle. You basically just drag it down and it will lock or unlock whatever you want it to do. In the bottom left, we can view events if you want to see who has locked or unlocked recently. We can also manage access there on the right if you want to modify existing users or maybe add new users for access as well. But if we go up to the settings up in the top corner there, we can view the current battery and Wi-Fi status right there at the top. If we want to have a Eufy doorbell camera, we can connect the door lock to the camera right here, and it will give you the ability to lock and unlock right from the video of the doorbell camera. So that's pretty cool. If you want to have the lock automatically lock after a period of time, you can enable auto lock. It's nice because you don't have to remember to lock the door whenever you come inside. One-touch locking is another cool feature as well. Basically, if you're leaving the house and you want to lock the door, you only have to hold the lock button down and it will automatically lock the door for you. Wrong try protection. If you enable this, it will disable the lock for a period of time after so many wrong attempts. And you can see there that you can adjust the number of attempts before it disables, as well as how long it will be disabled for. Scramble passcode is another cool feature as well. You can put digits in front of your passcode and or after the passcode to help hide others from figuring out what you're typing in. The limit is 12 characters total. Works with Matter. Of course, we already know how awesome that is. We saw that at the start of the video. I showed you how to set all that up, so we won't kind of go into any more details on that here. If you want the lock to be a little quieter, you can adjust the lock sound or even turn it off altogether if you wanted to. We have the ability to recalibrate the lock here as well. Under notification, we can decide if we want to get notifications when the door is locked and or unlocked. Then of course under general is where you have all the device information. You can also come here and check for firmware updates if you wanted to as well. Let's circle back to the integration with the doorbell camera here. I do have a Eufy doorbell camera, so why not integrate them? And you can see I can actually integrate it with other Eufy devices as well, such as the indoor camera or their floodlight cam if I wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and select my doorbell here. And if we go over to the doorbell camera now, we can actually see that at the top there is a lock button for locking and unlocking the door right there from the doorbell camera. So that's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll get this lock integrated with Matter.
Eufy has always been at the cutting edge when it comes to smart door locks. From the standard smart door locks that everybody has, to video door locks that they came out with, into now their Matter-enabled door locks, all with an easy setup, sleek design, very easy to use. I love Eufy products. They're so easy to get set up in the Eufy app. So with the Eufy Smart Lock E30, there are tons of features here. So we're talking about super fast fingerprint access, passcode capability, which allows you to add digits in front and after the passcode to make it more secure, the ability to control it from apps like Apple HomeKit or maybe even Home Assistant as well using Matter, and the fact that on 8 AA batteries, they say that the battery life on this lock will last up to 8 months. That is awesome. And when you consider the price on Eufy's website as well as the special they're running on their Amazon storefront, this lock is awesome. I guarantee you, you're going to want to check this thing out. I'll have links to Eufy's website as well as their Amazon storefront in the description below. Head over there, check this lock out for yourself.
I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, head over to my spring merchandise page and check out all the Burns home automation merchandise. And if you're looking for the latest smart home gear, you're going to want to check out SnowNet. I'll have a link in the description below. Head over and check out everything they have to offer. If you're looking for the latest smart window treatment, you're going to want to check out Smart Wings. I'll have a link in the description below. Head over there and see what specials they currently have running. If you need SIM cards for your smart home gear, you're going to want to check out Eiotclub. I'll have a link in the description below. You can see what plans they currently have running on their SIM cards. And of course, we can't forget about Eufy, so I'll have a link in the description below for them as well. You can go over there and see what other products they have in addition to this smart door lock. If you're interested in buying and selling stock or maybe cryptocurrency, you're going to want to check out Robinhood. I'll have a link in the description below. If you sign up with that link, you and I both will get a free share of stock. It's a win-win for both of us. And if you're looking for a way to secure your internet service, you're going to want to check out PrivadoVPN. I'll have a link in the description below. If you head over there, you can see what plans they currently have on their VPN service. As always, if you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. If there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well. And I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around.